Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to European Race Night Division 2 here at Russia. We are here for round 17 so far this season, and what a season it has been here in Division 2. I am Dave Zero, your lead commentator today. Our co-commentator is running late, ladies and gentlemen, and it's meant to be his first time on commentary, Mr. Fragstar, and we are currently waiting for him. Which is always good. What an impression he's making so far already in the commentary booth. But I'm here, so we're here for the stream, and as always, we're getting ready to go. We're here for qualifying, and it's going to be interesting to see what happened. We had an early Division 1 race yesterday, unfortunately with half a grid due to the early start time that we did because of the F1 clashing at the exact same time once again. Russell should have won that race. Feel sorry for him, man. I really do. But we're here in Russia. We're here for round 17. We're here in Sochi, and we're here for European Race Night Division 2. And we've got a couple of cars already out on track. I can see a Sauber. I think that is of Eke Baloba is the first man out on track. Skifi is behind him. Currently second in the championship, I believe, Mr. Skifi. And it'll be interesting to see what he is able to do today. Can he bridge that gap between him and NRC Ireland? That is what I need to know, and that's what we're all here to find out. I'm really looking forward to this. NRC Ireland, I think the gap, if I can remember correctly, let's just get the standings quickly on screen. Let's just have a quick look. So the gap is only 6 points between Ireland and Skifi, and the closest people behind them are nearly 100 points away, as I've just pressed the wrong video, which is always good to see from a person who's meant to be in charge of the stream. However, we're here for qualifying. Eke Baloba is currently in the technical sector 3, but it's always a play for here today, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Can Skifi get that? Can Ireland pull out his gap? Can anybody close their gaps in the lead? Can we see a new driver on the podium today? Do we see a new driver take the win today? But that's all we're here to find out, as now Eke Baloba is about to start his hot lap, and he is the first person to start his hot lap as we hit now into the DRS zone and through turn 1 and all the way down this straight. Now it could be interesting to see what setups these guys have gone for, especially if they've gone for a low downforce setup and maybe try and get as quickly as possibly can down those straights to really make use of that DRS and overtake as he now hits into turn 3 and then slows it down here for turn 4. Runs it nicely onto the curb, doesn't invalidate it, which is always good to see. Track limits here in Russia are going to be a pain here today, and he just doesn't get that turn 5 hooked up right as I think he would want it to be hooked up as he hits that. Can cut that a little bit, and he does invalidate it on the exit. The next man is Skifi now behind him, heading into turn 8. Oh, a bit slow and a bit wide there. Not what the man in the Haas wants currently, but he was just getting that bank lap in before he can really start pushing as he now heads on to the second DRS straight and is heading down towards sector 3 now. He will be the first man to cross the line and will have a purple middle sector. There it is on the minimap, confirming that for us. Goes a little bit deep there into that corner and just a little bit slow out of that one. But as we say, it's just a bank lap before he can get it. But there is the most difficult corner on this circuit. Can really throw the back end out, and especially trying to make that right-hander, it cannot work for you. As we go through the double right-hander here, gets that one nicely done. You can cut this corner quite a bit, and he gets that nicely wrapped up too, and he does a 1:31.3 as the first lap time there. So that is our first lap coming into today. Let's see who else. There goes Storm, only a 10th behind Skifi, so the Haas is looking very strong already at the start of this session. Only a 10th separating them as Matrice comes in with a 32 dead. I think the next is going to be a Ferrari. I think was that of NRC Ireland. It is NRC Ireland. NRC Ireland goes less than 500ths of a second behind his rival there on the first opening laps, which is interesting to see what he can do. Now, let me just see if I can get our co-commentator in. I believe he is now ready. So, hopefully, let's see if we can get him in, the absolute idiot. Let's see if we can get Fragstar in. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just quickly... I think T-Bag's about to wrap his lap up now. T-Bag goes second with a 31.1. Christoph going top with a 31 dead. So, some nice lap times coming in currently, which is interesting to see. Let me just get Mr. Fragstar in. Oh, I've got to invite him, haven't I? Bear with me. Do 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 do. Right, let's get him going. Invite to party. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Ramos goes top 2 with a 31.0, just a couple hundredths of a second quicker than Christos. That's a big lap there coming in from the Renault man. As Anthem goes top with a 30.5, shedding half a second off that lap time, which is absolutely huge there. And a really good lap there from Anthem, which is really interesting to see, in fact, and really a good lap there. 5 tenths quicker than the Renault driver. So really looking strong in these opening parts of the laps. Are you in, Mr. Fragstar?
I am indeed, sir.
You are indeed. That's wonderful to hear. Wonderful, right. You seem to be a bit low in my ear. Bear with me a second.
No, mate.
To be honest with you, I think it's just these headphones. I think these are knackered. How are you doing anyway, Fragstar? You're late as always.
Not late as always. My Xbox had a moment.
No, you're late as always. You're always late. You're never right on any time.
What have I missed?
So we are currently now just off the first laps of qualifying. Anthem has gone top with a 30.5. We've got 11 minutes to go. Ramos is second with a 31 dead. Christoph 200ths of a second behind him in third. So it's looking very interesting out there in the minute. And I'm wondering, what is your predictions for pole, Mr. Fragstar, with your first time in commentary? Let's hear your predictions.
My predictions for pole. I'm probably gonna have to throw out maybe an island, an NRC island going pole.
Ooh, interesting.
Just after recent watchings of the stream, yeah.
Interesting. As NRC Island, I think, is actually going out for his outlap currently. We've got also Skeefy. These two, Island and Skeefy, the championship rivals. These two are really close together in the first opening stages of qualifying. Only 500 separate them two together. So I could see, personally, I think Anthem might take pole here today. Anthem looking straight out the box on his first lap with a 30.5. So with the track conditions warming up, he might get even quicker and maybe see him drop into the 29s.
Yeah, I can see that, to be fair. I mean, Anthem is very quick. Very quick. And as you said, after the track, rubberizes a bit, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, indeed. It's all about that final lap, really. If you get that final lap perfectly hooked up, you can get pole no matter what, especially with these equal cars. As Steffi crosses the line and does a 31.9. I think there's a Haas about to come across the line, and I think that is ERN Storm starting a lap. No, it wasn't even a Haas. That was a Mercedes. I'm blind. That's what it was. It was a Mercedes. Raz is currently out on a lap. I haven't even got the tyres on, so I can't even tell who's on the lap. There we go. Would help me, wouldn't it?
I think Nicky's on a lap.
Who's on the lap, Nicky?
Yeah, I think so. It's either that or he's on his in lap.
No, I think he's on his in lap. His ERS is at 100%.
Yeah, he's on his in lap.
Yeah, I think Mr. Raz is currently the only man out there who is on a lap.
Island's just about to cross the line to start his.
Island's crossing his, so he will be probably the next man that we will go on board to. Raz is currently down in the middle sector, sets a purple middle sector, in fact, apparently to Codemasters, but we know what Codemasters like. Goes a bit deep there into the corner, into the chicane, nearly loses the rear end, coming through the left-hander now. Through the tricky left-hander here, cuts it a bit, takes a bit too much curve, really loses the rear end once again. Really struggling, so maybe Raz has gone for a nice little low downforce setup and is really struggling in sector 3 there. As he now hits the second right-hander. Let's see what he's going to put in. He hasn't got time yet, but what does he do? He does the 31.7. Maybe that sector 3 really costing him that lap time there.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, he nearly goes off the track and spins it on the grass there. That was a bit close there from Raz, wasn't it? Jeez, that was a bit close. NRC Island, as you say, is another man who's currently on a lap. He is now just hitting the second DRS zone, and these two, I've got to say, the Ferrari and the Haas, have really been slugging it out this season. They've really been trying to just make everything they can possibly do as it's 4/10 quicker. What are you eating?
I'm not eating nothing. Why? What can you hear?
I can hear it rustling. It sounds like a crisp packet.
I'm not eating.
That's a surprise for once, to be fair, as NLC Ireland comes through the end of Sector 3 and he's now hitting the double right-hander. Let's see if he can take provisional pole away from Anthem. I don't think he's going to do it. Let's see, he goes second with a 30.22 tenths of
a good lap.
Anthem. So that's proven also that Anthem's lap time is a really good opening lap time as he starts his next lap. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can improve.
It's going to be interesting to see where Skeefy comes as well, because obviously he's opted for the medium tyre.
Oh, he has gone on the medium tyre. Mine still says it's soft, so I didn't even know for that. My tyre still says it's soft.
One of ours is broken.
Oh, fantastic. Well done, Goldmasters, as always. You like to ruin everything. He's not... he's come back in, actually.
He's aborted that lap.
He's not liking that one.
Yeah, so he's either not liking the tyres or he's not liking his setup.
Yep, one of the two, but if he's already set a lap time on that setup, so unfortunately he's now stuck with it as Breezy crosses the line. Breezy goes fourth with a 30.9, and that's Harvey down in... there he is, the Renault. Off in Sector 1, he's hit the wall, and that's a big incident there for the Renault, and that's him out of this qualifying session.
Such a shame.
P16 only managed to get the one lap in, maybe just push it a little bit too hard, has lost the rear end, and that's game over for him in this qualifying session. That's huge for him. A big shame. You got to remember, in this track, the walls, even though I don't think it is a street circuit, if I'm right in saying, but the walls are quite close, aren't they, together?
Yeah, I mean, Russia's my favourite track out of the entire calendar, and even though Russia's a very wide track, it can be a cruel mistress, to say the least, if something goes wrong. Yeah.
I remember last season, Division 3. I don't have fond memories of this track, let's just say that. T-Bag has gone fourth with a 30.8. I've just noticed Christoph went top, actually, with a 30.4. So he's picked Anthem there on his second run.
He has, yeah.
And Anthem, I think, invalidated his attempt and is now going on a second run on those soft compound tyres. So those will be a little bit more worn than the ones he would have got in the first run. But if he goes for a third run on new softs, then he should be okay. That's only if he sets a faster lap.
Yeah.
Let's have a look through. I think, is there any couple of drivers just hitting the line? I think there's a Ferrari. Oh, T-Bag was off the track there, but I'm not too sure what he was doing. I think there's an Alpha Tauri about to come across the line, and I think that's going to be a D6W. It is going to be a D6W. D6W puts himself 31 dead. So that's not a bad lap time from him, putting himself into 7th position. And now I think there's the two Red Bulls are about to cross the line. I think Nicki Minaj is down there. Yes, it is in the final corner now. Let's see where he's going to put this car. He puts it in P8 with a 31, just under a 31.1. So the two Red Bulls very close together there in 8th and 9th.
Very close, yeah.
Really interesting to see there. So maybe some similar strategies going on between them two as Anthem does the 30 dead on the second attempt. And that is a big lap time there. Once again, pulling out nearly a 5/10 gap on the car behind. So that's a big lap there from Anthem once again.
He's got to be careful though, because he's done 2 laps on them softs.
Indeed, he's got to bring it in nice and slowly, but also quickly enough to get back for those for another run on that soft compound tyres. I mean, normally, Frank, we've got glitches where the time's always messed up anyway. Okay. So normally, for us, it will say, well, for me, it's saying 3.5 minutes left. It's probably going to be about 4.
This is Skeefy's only chance to at least either get in front of Ireland or nick that pole.
Yeah, it actually is because he won't be able to get back in. He's on a lap currently. He's down in sector 2, I think he's in now. I'm right in saying yes, it is sector 2. Cuts that quite nicely, to be fair. I mean, the curbs in Russia, they are ruthless. You run a little bit over them, and all it takes is one of them just to fling that back end out, And it
Yeah.
can really spoil a lap, especially when you're pushing like these guys are doing in qualifying. It's really going to spoil it, but I'm going to be interested to see how much faster he is as he hits the sector 2. He's 6/10 quicker on this lap, so he is currently on around a 30.7. So he is
That's
still
gonna
a
be
bit
close.
behind Anthem, but can he wrap up the sector 3 is the big question here. Let's see. As he's coming through now, the double right-hander, there's a Williams ahead of him too. I'm not too sure if they're on the lap. It might be Raz. It is Raz. Raz doesn't go any quicker. Skeefy goes third with a 30.7, just
Look at those
3,000
times.
of a second quicker than NRC Island. That's a huge difference. A huge lap coming in from Skeefy, and look how close that is between the two
That's
rivals
very
there.
close.
Nothing separating them two at all. But I mean, it's props to Anthem though. Look how quick that lap time is, man. That is a huge lap from Anthem, and it's going to be interesting to see if Skeefy goes for another run on these softs, or does he stay where he is and maybe let himself just back out a little bit.
I'm not too sure because both Ferraris have just come out.
Ooh, so both Ferraris out. Island's going for another run now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. There's a lot of cars on track now, so I'm just trying to keep up with the lap times coming in. Tree's currently out on a lap. Darko's on an out lap. Mikey's retired in the pits. Anthem does come back out actually. Anthem has come back for another run. So if I'm Skeefy now, but I'm probably looking at maybe going for another run. But I'm looking at on both of them, his fuel light is on red. So maybe I think he might be going back in.
Yeah.
By the looks of it. So that's the best we're going to get out of Skeefy with 30.7, and Island just has to shave three thousandths of a second, and he's got that job done and got ahead of his rival there, which could be huge for the race in fact.
The thing is, he's got Darko in front of him, who's also on an outlap, and they're very close together.
Oh, they are. They're all. I think this is the stage now where they're all sprinting for the line because they've realised they may have left it a bit too late, and he's also got T-Bag ahead of him, has Darko. So
Yeah.
the two Ferraris here may have been trying to work together in getting a slipstream, but Darko's just got in the way and is just blocking that from Island. So that's going to be a big shame there. That was the plan from them two, but it'll be interesting to see as they all start their laps now. Storm as well. Storm is really close behind NRC Island too. Maybe looking to try and get a tow off Island. So that could be a big difference there. I mean, a tow in Russia is a huge deal.
It is on these straights.
Oh, I don't think Anthem got a chance to even set a lap time, did he? No. He didn't get another opportunity to set a time. So that's going to be unfortunate for him. Christoph is currently out there on a lap. He's 4/10 behind Anthem. So it's going to be interesting to see what the McLaren driver can do. But also, there's a lot of cars out on track at the minute still, and a lot of times being set as Breezy comes into the pits. I can see a Renault down there. It is of Ramos. Ramos is about to come across the line. Across the line, goes 5th fastest, a 10th quicker. And that puts him in 5th with a 30.7. Next car across the line I can see is a Williams, and it is of Raz coming into the pits. Behind them is Chelsea in the racing point on low fuel and very low ERS, looking to try and get as much as she can, and she goes 16th fastest with a 31.6. There's two McLarens coming round. It's NRC. Arndt is the first one to come round. One went into the pits. Arndt invalidates it. He was... In fact, no, he went quicker. I think he invalidated it right after he went quicker. That is sheer luck, that is, from NRC Arndt. If that was us, Fragstar, that would be invalidated. We've ruined everything. Cole Masters has sent us to the bin.
Yep, definitely.
But very lucky there from Arndt, and goes 13th fastest with a 31.2. Is there anybody else
has beat Skeefy.
Oh, he has. Ooh, very. And once again, it's only 400ths of a second separating them two. It's really close between the two rivals.
Very close.
Well, Christoph just majorly glitched for me. He just basically braked out of nowhere, was in the pits, and now was retired on track. He said he was in the pits. I don't know what the hell just happened there. But the game said he was in the pits, but we could see him out on track. So well done, Code Bastards, as always. You've done fantastic work. And I think that is qualifying wrapped up. So that is Anthem taking pole position here in Russia. Christoph in the McLaren in second, 4/10 behind the pole position time. NRC Ireland in third, 2/10 behind Christoph. And Skifi in fourth, only 400ths behind Ireland. And look at Ramos too. It is really close from Ireland downwards.
I mean, 4th, 5th, and 6th is so close.
Yeah, it's only a few thousandths, few hundredths of a second between 4th and 7th. That's a really, really interesting qualifying there from that top field.
It's going to make an interesting race.
Indeed,
It's this close.
I agree. I mean, with the speed Anthem has had in qualifying, and if he can take that into the race, that's going to be absolutely huge if you can take that into the race. Ooh, I had a burp midway through talking. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. I never want to do that again. That hurt. As Anthem, there we go. We'll do a little quick rundown. Anthem in P1, Christoph second, Ireland third, Skifi fourth, Ramos fifth, T-Bag sixth, Breezy in 7th, 8th is Eke Blower, 9th is Darko Wade. D6W wraps up the top 10 there. So everybody outside of the top 10 can start on whatever tyre they want, and that's going to be Nicki Minaj, Mike, Arndt, Storm, Matriz, Chelsea, Steffi, Harvey, unfortunately crashed out in the early stages, Raz, and Sink Liam, who decided to go on the medium compound tyre. So a very interesting grid for qualifying there.
It is a very interesting grid, and a very close grid as well. Let's just hope there's no heroics coming up to that very sharp first corner. Cool.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for European Race Night Division 2 here in Sochi, and I'm very much looking forward to this. A really interesting track we have here, which was home for the Winter Olympics back in 2016 or 2014, if I can remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't fact check me. Here we are, though. 3 nice sectors, 2 of them very, very quick sectors, and 1 which is a very technical third sector, which is going to throw some interesting surprises for the drivers, especially on some worn tyres. Anthem will be starting on pole position along with Christoph on the front row. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the first couple of laps here. But we are here in Russia at Sochi for European Race Night Division 2, and it's live! But what's interesting most of all, Mr. Fragstar, is the Division 2 standings currently. We've got Ireland with 229 points at the top of the table. We've got Skifi, his main rival, just 6 points behind him in second place. And then the gap from there, though, is nearly a 100-point difference with Ramos on 142. So a huge... Oh, that's a lobby restart.
Luckily I got a photo of it.
Oh, nice one. So, right, okay. Choose this, ladies and gentlemen. We will have to come back soon. We will be right back. The stream will be staying on, so we'll be back as soon as possible. This is going to have to be a lobby restart, so we will be back shortly, guys. Back soon.
Every time. I've just put the grid in Facebook. It's either that or I'm very quiet, I don't know. Maybe you need to drop one of them 4K monitors and get yourself a headset. No worries, mate. Hello. I literally was just sat here for a second going, I hope he hasn't left it up to me. I'll just check. Drop me an invite when you're in. It's the backy, which I didn't want to say on stream. It's literally my tobacco pouch. I didn't want to sit there and go, oh, it's my backy. It's exactly why I didn't agree. And I think this is the nicest we've been to each other for a while. I'm surprised I haven't called you a scouse cunt yet. No, it's fine. The same silence.
Welcome everybody once again. Welcome back. We do apologise about that due to a lobby restart. We just had to vacate the stream there a second. I'm Dame Zero once again alongside me, Mr. Fragstar, who this time technically is not late for this session. Yeah, you were late for the first one. We both know that you were late for the first one, so let's well, you say we have no proof, Fragstar, but you weren't here for the first 5 minutes of qualifying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's a very interesting lineup we have currently on the grid. Anthem is on pole position and took it by 0.4 of a second. Christoph is alongside him on the front row, 0.4 behind in the McLaren, and then it goes from NRC Island and Skeefy, the two rivals, on the same row, which is very interesting to see. And I'm going to ask you now, Fragstar, what are your predictions for your top three of the race, your podium positions?
My podium positions. I can see definitely NRC Island and Skeefy being up there. I couldn't give you a position of where they're going to be, but for the extra person, I have a feeling Storm's going to take it.
Storm?
Now, I don't want there to be no backlash of a commentary curse or anything if that goes wrong. But
it's a very a wild card there for you, isn't it?
That is a wild card, yeah. But I've just got this feeling.
Where did he qualify? Was it 9th, around that area?
It was. Bear with me. It was 14th. That's how much of a wild card this is.
Oh no, Skeefy ready up, so we are good to go actually. I thought that was another lobby restart, which was not going to, some nice words wouldn't have been said there, but we are here anyway. We're getting ready for the formation lap. I think my predictions today are, see, I've called this before and it's happened in Division 1 when I said both Hasses are going to crash out. Now, I have a feeling that this person that I am going to mention is going to crash out today. And that's going to be NRC Island.
Ooh.
I think he is not making the end of this race. And if Island, you're listening, I do apologise. It's not something against you. It's just I have a gut feeling, mate. And prove me wrong, please. But I don't think he's making it. And Christoph is another person. He may be on the front row, but he's a quali man. The race pace doesn't seem to be there when it is needed. So I think my top three is going to be Anthem P1 because he's looked absolutely mega strong here today in the qualifying session. I think Skeefy will take P2 and I think Ramos will take P3. So those are my predictions for this race. It'll be interesting to see how this actually turns out because with how close that grid was, I have no idea.
I mean, it's all going to come down to that first sharp corner. And obviously, safety cars are going to come into play if a safety car happens. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And you've got to remember the slipstream and the punch in the air that the two front runners are going to have to deal with on that turn turn 2, should I say, sorry, is going to be crucial if they can stay ahead. But we are now just in the middle of Sector 2. We are getting closer and closer to lights out. So, Mr. Fragstar, who do you think, we'll do another little wild prediction, seeing how, in fact, it'll answer your question anyway with Storm. I was going to say, who do you think is going to get the most places? But if you think Storm's getting on the podium, there's your answer sorted, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing that's striking me that Storm might make a good comeback purely because he qualified on the softs and he's now obviously opted for the mediums because he's out of the top 10.
Yeah.
So whether or not he's got the pace for Russia, he's obviously going to make some positions up because he's going to have the longest stint.
Yeah.
So let's just hope he's got the pace to keep up with everybody on softs, and yeah, I reckon he can make a fair amount of jumps.
It'll be interesting to see. It is a wild prediction, but we have seen many things happen in European race night where drivers come through the field and etc. So it'll be interesting to see. We're definitely not ruling it out that can happen, but I personally think it's unlikely today. But we never know. It is David, and it is Mr. ERN Storm, and he can be a wizard sometimes.
That's it. It's so unpredictable, and that's what I love about Div 2.
Right, I'm trying to get a good angle here. It's just giving me the back of the cars.
Yeah, that's what it's giving me as well.
Right, here we go. I've got an angle now. So we're now 4 lights, 5 lights, they're revving up, and it's lights out, and away we go. I don't think Christoph got the best of Scott. Skeefy got an amazing start and is already challenging Anthem into turn 1, and now heading down to turn 2. Island is trying to get the slipstream off Anthem, but Skeefy takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix into turn 2. Anthem runs wide and goes through the penalty area, and he manages to get down, rejoins the track. Island is dropping positions and is under threat now from Breezy, and what a crucial start we had, and it's a virtual safety car already in this race.
The tree dropped so many positions. I don't know what happened.
He's got a broken front right end plate there by the looks of it. He's got a big broken front wing actually on that right hand side. But what? Ooh, 5-second time penalty for Teabag for ignoring yellow flags. That's already crucial straight away on the first lap, but what a launch Skeefy got off the start. He was already alongside Christoph before they even hit turn 1, and by turn 2 he was already into the lead. What a start from the Haasman.
That was an incredible start from Skeefy there.
Yeah, it was a absolutely fantastic start. Christoph in second position, Anthem dropping back to third there after going wide into turn 2. Mike and Storm further back. These two are battling side by side. Mike has made the move as they head towards into the corner, and Mike has got that move done as Chelsea and Harvey. And Chelsea gets ahead there too. So Chelsea moving up a position. Let's look up further up the field. Skeefy currently in first with Christoph second. Still close together here after that virtual safety car. Ooh, as Christoph misses his braking zone, nearly goes straight into the back of Skeefy and rejoins the track in front of Anthem. And Anthem now will get this move done and is now side by side out along with Christoph as I think the game is glitching out as always. As he cuts across Christoph there and is now taking the slipstream as much as he can. Christoph getting the slipstream back on Anthem but can't make that move done. There's blue flags about and everybody's ghosted. This is wonderful.
I don't know what's happening because my game's telling me that Anthem is in 14th.
Yeah, mine's telling me Anthem's in 7th. I know he's in 2nd. Cold
so
bastards.
We'll give the game a minute to just catch up.
Yeah. Oh dear, Cold Masters. You see, it's now telling me ours. Now Storm, there's your predictions. Storm's in the lead.
There we go, Storm is in the lead.
God damn it, Cold Masters. Skeefy does lead this race. He's currently in first. He's got a 5/10 gap to the car behind of Anthem, but Anthem is looking to put some pressure on the Haasman after his mega start. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Looking further down the order, Island currently behind Christoph, maybe looking to try and get him here with the slipstream, and I think he is going to try and make a move here. He is going for the outside line into the end of the DRS straight. There's a lock up there from Christoph. Island goes to try and do the under and over, tries to get a better exit, but is not able to do it on this occasion and still remains behind Christoph. This is still, at the minute, crucial for the World Championship points.
I think Island might be struggling a bit.
Ooh, Teabag under pressure now from Ramos. He didn't get the best of exits. Ramos is sending it down the inside, pushes him a little bit of wheel bang in there. And now into the final corner, still ahead. And I think Ramos is still alongside Teabag, and they're still going for it. Teabag using overtake, and so is Ramos. These two battling, but the Mercedes is going to use the slipstream, and that's up Breezy now, and they're going to go 3 abreast into turn 1. Let's see who's going to get ahead. Breezy goes through and takes both drivers and moves into 5th position. What a move that was by the Mercedes. Ramos is coming back at him round the 3rd corner, and let's see who's going to get ahead. They wheel bang in the middle of the corner, and Breezy stays ahead on this attempt, and what a move that was by the Mercedes, gaining 2 positions there, both on Teabag and Ramos.
Great driving there from Breezy.
Crucial slipstream there, just proving how strong it can be in Russia. And look how much it paid off. 2 guys battling, and then all of a sudden, you've got a guy you weren't even worrying about, and he's now took both of you in the same corner. What a move, and what a taking advantage of that was from Breezy.
Anthem is hot on Skeefy's tail, has been the whole lap. On the last lap he set a
here goes that Kate. Eke on the outside of T-Bag. T-Bag's dropping positions. The Ferrari's not looking strong here. Eke's trying to go around the outside and he doesn't manage to do it. Goes a bit too deep into the corner and has to back out of that one. Sorry about that, Frag.
That's all right.
So Anthem, yeah, 6 attempts. He's hanging on to the back of Skeefy. Island is not letting Anthem out of his sight. Island is still trying to stay in it, but Eke over and T-Bag in the other Ferrari, dropping down a couple of positions here, and is really under some pressure, to be perfectly honest, and is not looking too good. But I'm looking at this battle, and then I'm looking at the battle behind it. These three cars, the McLaren, the Red Bull, and the Alfa Romeo. No, it's not, sorry, it's the Alfa Tauri. As the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari go side by side, the Alfa Tauri and the Red Bull go side by side. And that is crucial there going into turn one, as T-Bag is battling with Eke below, but he's managed to get ahead. The Alfa Tauri is getting around the outside now of the Red Bull, but doesn't look to send it down the inside there. D6W hanging back behind Mike there.
God, this is great racing from Div 2.
Indeed, the Williams of Sink has just let the other Williams through, of Raz, I believe. I think he let the Racing Point and the Williams through, so maybe didn't want to be held up there. So maybe a bit of interesting play from the two Williams boys. Anthem 5 attempts behind, and Raz has dropped down a couple of positions now as well. I think Raz may have made a mistake back there, and that has cost him a couple of positions. But these guys now, with DRS enabled, it's all going to be down to who has done most overtake, as Eke Blover goes very, very deep, nearly hits the barrier, and that gives Mike a beautiful, perfect position there, as D6 will be looking to try and take advantage of that mistake, and maybe put some pressure on him as Storm gets Arndt there at the bottom of the DRS straight, and he moves up into 11th. So your man is moving up, Frag. He's
moving up.
He's on his way. Moving on. No, I can't get it.
Move done here.
But here comes Anthem. Anthem on Skeefy with the slipstream. He's going to make this move down into turn 2, and he's got that move done. Skeefy is trying to get late on the brakes. Tries to do it under and over. Skeefy does. Nearly damages a bit of wing as he hits the back of Anthem there, but I think Anthem has moved now and has got that lead done. Skeefy now has to be careful he doesn't fall into the clutches of NRC Island here. A really close battle for first here with these three. They're really trying to slug it out to try and keep ahead here. Just looking further down the field, I can see Nicki Minaj and Chelsea. They're going side by side. Nicki's on the outside line, Chelsea on the inside line. Can she put it ahead and keep ahead of Nicki? Nicki goes around the outside and gets that move done, but goes a little bit deep there. And this could look at Chelsea maybe trying to take the inside line. Does she get it done? Oh, a little bit of contact there from Nicki Minaj, cutting across the Racing Point's front wing. But Nicki stays ahead. May have caused a little bit of wing damage. I think Chelsea's lucky if she hasn't got any there. And it looks like an intact wing there, so she's got lucky there, to be fair. She's got very lucky that didn't cause some damage. But she's looking to come back, but the Williams of Raz is looking to get on the back of Chelsea too, and he's looking to go round the outside of her. Let's see what he's going to do. Does he get this job done? I think he does, and he gets that job done fairly easily and gets that up into 14th position. We're back to the front runners now as we're heading back down the DRS straight. Skeefy will be looking to try and get Anthem. Anthem will be looking to stay ahead of Skeefy, and Island is looking to try and use anything he possibly can here. But I'm looking further down the grid, and here comes Ramos on Christoph. He's going to go round the outside of turn 2. Here they go, a little bit of wheel bang in mid-corner, but Ramos gets that job done, and he moves up into 4th position. A really solid drive here today from ERN Ramos, who has really been making some nice moves so far today.
Yeah, he's had some very good moves done.
Now looking on board of Breezy, and Breezy, who made that spectacular double move on, I think, was it Christoph and T-Bag? I think he made that move on. Currently sat in 6th position behind these two, so maybe looking to take advantage again of a double slipstream from the two ahead if they start battling. So maybe this man is just hanging back, but penalties are starting to come in and rack up. Christoph, Breezy, T-Bag, Eke, Storm, Nicki, Raz, Chelsea, all picking up time penalties so far in this race.
Yeah, they need to stop cutting the corners. It's very easy to cut corners in Russia, but they are very strict.
Yeah, track limits here are a pain, and it's something the drivers really need to keep an eye out for, especially if there's a late safety car that can really bunch up the field, and those penalties are really going to cost you at the end of the race.
I think Liam's just got one.
Yep, another time penalty there for another driver. Skeefy still in the slipstream of Anthem, not looking to use too much ERS. I don't think he wants to be in the clutches, but the top three are actually on very, very similar ERS.
Yeah, they all seem to be hanging around that 40%-ish mark. I think what Skeefy needs to do is just obviously try and keep Ireland off of him, but at the same time try to keep up to Anthem, but he needs to find a way to do that without using his ERS.
Yeah.
Because Anthem's going to obviously be ploughing through his to defend that lead.
Yeah. Teabag under major pressure here from the Red Bull of Mike. Mike trying to use all of his ERS, in fact. He's only got 6% there before that braking zone. Using a lot of his ERS on this lap. Trying to get past the Ferrari. Now, using a lot of ERS here, Frank, can really make you a sitting duck down the DRS straight.
Yeah. You need to just... I know, obviously, from experience racing in Div 3 that you want to get that move done. But as soon as you get that move done with no ERS, there's just no point. They're going to take you back.
Ooh, Christoph and Breezy, these two are battling two up ahead, and Breezy moves ahead of Christoph at the end of the DRS straight. Mike got the move done on Teabag 2, and has made contact, and the Mercedes goes spinning, and he's into the off of the circuit, and unfortunately, that may have cost him a lot of places there. That's cost him 6 positions there, and Christoph comes in for a new front wing.
Oof.
Maybe a bit too late on the brakes there by the looks of it. Christoph ploughing straight into the back of Breezy, and that has cost him there. And is it a new front wing? It is a new front wing, so definitely contact was made between Christoph and Breezy as Teabag goes back through the inside. Oh, what an under and over that was by the Red Bull. The Teabag going very, very deep into turn 2, and there goes the Red Bull, but Teabag is trying to come back at the Red Bull, going to go round the outside, and he doesn't manage to make that move done, and Mike stays ahead. But once again, proving that the ERS, when you're down that DRS straight, can really make you a sitting duck.
Yeah.
Teabag is on the back of Mike. Eke Blober joining this fight, and also is D6W. Is Teabag going to have a look? Oh no, Eke's going to have a look round the outside. They nearly made contact. Eke had to go deep into the corner. This is going to open the door for D6W. Ooh. D6W is going to have a look round the outside of the DRS straight, and he manages to get that move done. Now has overtake and DRS enabled to try and get away from Eke a little bit. Multiple battles up and down the field here in Division 2. This is fantastic to see. Gaps are beginning to form though down the lower end of the field with the medium runners, but the soft runners are really battling with each other.
They are.
Just looking on board now, it looks like NRC Ireland has saved a little bit of ERS, so he's trying to save a little bit more ERS than the other two up ahead. Skeefy is not really trying to chase Anthem, I don't think. I think he's going to wait until the pit stops to maybe try and take that fight to Anthem once he's on the fresher tyres.
Yeah, I mean, the gap is he is falling back, but he needs to try and stay within that DRS range as much as he can, because as soon as Anthem gets clear, he's going to run away with it.
Yeah, and also if he doesn't have that DRS with Anthem, Ireland will have the DRS on Skeefy, and that could open the clutches for Ireland to take Skeefy's second position from him.
Well, as it stands, Skeefy is out of DRS range.
He is. He has now dropped back, and if I remember correctly, I think the pit window is around lap 10, I believe, around lap 8 to like 12 for the soft compound tyres. So it'll be interesting to see if Skeefy can clearly see that he's fell out of the DRS. Will he try and undercut on Anthem to maybe close that gap and have a fresher lap on the medium compound tyres and maybe undercut him?
I think an undercut might work here, to be fair. We know how strong that undercut is.
Yeah, and he does. There he goes. Skeefy comes in. Ireland went to join but decided to back out of it. Skeefy goes for the undercut on Anthem. So that will be very interesting to see how that plays out as Mike tried to juke one of the Ferrari into the pit, but Eke Baloba pits too. So Eke Baloba trying to undercut on the 3 drivers ahead of him of Mike Teabag and Breezy. So the undercut's coming into play here today.
Question is, will it pay off?
That is a big point. If he gets caught in traffic, it can really put you even further back than you actually were, which is a big thing there, as Christoph picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Skeefy comes out in 10th position, right ahead of Nicky, and has got a nice clean 5-second gap between him and the Williams ahead. So he's in a lot of clean air there to really put the hammer down and close that gap with Anthem.
He's also got to watch his ERS though, because if he manages to get this undercut to work, he's going to have no ERS to play with.
Yeah, that is also true. But looking ahead, NRC Island's on 6% ERS and Anthem is on 20. So really low ERS for the top 3 at the minute. So it'll be interesting to see how, after all the pit stops, what the gaps are going to be like and what the ERS situation is going to be like here. Is Mike going to send it on Teabag? No, he decides not to and decides to be braver and a bit smarter. But D6W is definitely looking to take advantage of the Red Bull. The Red Bull seems to be a little bit out of shape going there as Island does pit. Anthem stays out. So Island is trying to cover the undercut off Skeefy, but Anthem being a bit braver and staying out for a little bit.
Didn't Anthem do this in Singapore as well though, where obviously Singapore it rained, but he stayed out longer than he should have done, and it didn't pay off for him?
Yes. If I remember correctly, yes. But I'm just looking now between Island and Skeefy. Skeefy has just gone across the finishing line. Let's see where he's going to come out, and he comes out way ahead of NRC Island. Island is just on the pit exit there, and Skeefy, I think, has now got around a 2-second gap to the Ferrari behind.
That is a strong undercut.
That is a very strong undercut, considering that he was within 4/10 of him. He's now got 2 seconds, and that may ask the question towards Anthem of, has he pitted too late?
I think he has. He has to pit this lap if he wants to salvage anything, because them softs now must be very close.
Yeah, they've got to be screaming themselves. They've got to be screaming at him, not wanting to turn in right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the tyre management, especially. I'm just on board with Anthem. I'm just trying to get a little peek of that front left, and that front left has got grading on it, and as he does now decide to pit. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. Skeefy is in sector 3. He's just in the technical corners. So
this is going to be close.
It is going to be very close, in fact, I think. Let's have a quick look. Where is Anthem? Because it's a very slow pit limiter as well. It's a 37-mile-an-hour pit limiter. As Skeefy now comes round the final corner, crosses the line. There we go. Now it's the pit window open for the medium one-stop strategy. Let's see how close this is actually going to be between Skeefy and Anthem. And I think Skeefy already has Anthem. And there is Anthem on the exit. So Skeefy's undercut has worked, but is Anthem still in DRS range?
He's not.
Yeah, he's not. 1.2 seconds is the gap, and I think Anthem will be trying to get back into that as soon as possible. And in fact, nearly did there. Look how close that is. 1.1, 1.0. It's dropping and fluctuating between those two. So Skeefy really has to put the hammer down to leave that gap and hope that Island battles with Anthem to maybe just bring that through, as Ramos is battling with Chelsea. Ramos goes down the inside, and Ramos gets that move done and moves into 8th position himself. Just come out on fresher tyres, but Storm currently in the lead without pitting just as yet. Skeefy is in net P1, and Skeefy, look at that, he's already on the back of P2 of Sinclair, and this DRS could really help him. But Anthem has DRS now, and it is in that DRS range on these fresh tyres. So the undercut worked, but how long for is the question.
And Anthem is gaining, and he's gaining quickly.
Yeah, he is. I'm looking at a battle further down the field between Nicky and Raz. These two are battling on the mediums, but it's holding up Ramos in the Renault, who is currently on fresh tyres. And I'm just going to go on board now with Anthem to see what happens here. Ireland falling 2 seconds behind Anthem now, which is a crucial. And here comes Anthem. Skeefy trying to break the slipstream. Is Anthem going to go for the inside or the outside? He decides not to go for it on this occasion. Maybe try and get a better exit into turn 3. And does look like he's right on the back there as Ramos takes into P7 and gets that move done on Raz. But I don't think Anthem is able to get anything from this lap.
I mean, Skeefy's running less than 10%.
Oh, Ramos
ERS.
is off. Ramos has made contact with somebody there and has been spun round. No damage as of yet that I can see, but has cost him from P7 all the way down to P13 now, and is now stuck in front of Breezy, who's really going to want to put him under pressure.
Such a shame.
Ramos was on for a really good result here today. He qualified well, and he was looking very nice, but unfortunately he's been spun round there. But if we go to ahead,
Steffi's gone.
Steffi is retired in the pits, and here comes Anthem down the inside of Skeefy. He launches it, and he launches it on Sinclair, and Anthem spins, and he launched it on both of the drivers. He made contact with St. Liam at the back of the car, and the car spins round there. Maybe too much of a lunge there to try and take both cars at the bottom of the DRS straight, and that has cost Anthem P1, 2, and is now sat in 3rd.
He's got one hell of a recovery race to pick up that again.
Yeah, this has now worked beautifully for Skeefy, who is now 6 tenths to the car in front, which is currently sat in net P1, and has 2 second gap now to NRC Island. So that is absolutely crucial now for Skeefy, who can really just try and settle into his own race here.
That gap can increase now because obviously, like you said, he's behind Liam. He's in DRS range. That gap will increase if Island can't catch up.
Yeah, definitely. So his Island currently 2.1 seconds behind his championship rival of Skeefy in the hat. As Mike picks up a 3-second time penalty. So the only people, the top 3, especially Skeefy, Island and Anthem, not really picking up any time penalties as of yet, which is interesting to see, definitely, considering a lot of the pack is. And is that Ferrari off? It is. It's Teabag. He's lost his wing going down. I think that is after the fast left-hander.
Big load of damage.
A big load of damage, especially to that front wing. Yeah, his whole wing is entirely gone.
Yeah, no wing.
That is crucial. I'm surprised that is not a virtual safety car, which really would have gifted Storm a free pit stop if that was a virtual safety car. As Storm now does pit. Storm pits along with St. Liam. So Skeefy now moves into P1 and Island into P2. Island now 2.2 seconds behind Skeefy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as Anthem now moves into P3. So the top 3 come back out the way they are, but in a different sort of formation. As Mike is on the back of Raz, these two are side by side now heading towards turn 2. The Red Bull on the Williams. The Red Bull goes down the inside, maybe cuts the corner a bit, loses the back end a bit there as well, and nearly caused an incident. There's a yellow flag instead for being set to 3 there, but I'm not too sure whose car that was. As D6W and Christoph, these two are battling as well side by side further back up the field. Oh, Christoph then goes into the back of D6W there, so some close battles happening further in the midfield, but some of them are back markers too. Well, not back markers. 14 lap up.
I'm not surprised Teabag just retired in the pits. Not only did he enter the pits, he got a 5-second time penalty while going into the pits. So he's now out.
Yeah, a big shame there for Teabag. He was running well. He was dropping down a little bit, but he was running well at the same time, and it's just all unravelled for him, unfortunately. As I think this is Mike getting the move done on Nicky. Nicky letting Mike through because Nicky still has to pit. And Mike now is sat in a very nice position in 4th place.
It's a good position for him. Very good position.
Indeed, the Red Bull is moving. I mean, he's basically got no ERS, but he's making it work somehow. Just looking, we do have a very close bunch of cars here in the midfield currently. A little DRS train, as people would call it, as Chelsea gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And I think that's a car making a move on Ramos. It is. It's Breezy on Ramos. The two Mercedes are going to go for it. Not the two Mercedes, sorry. The Mercedes and the Renault are going to go for it here as Ramos is trying to come back. The Alfa Romeo is trying to make the move on the McLaren of Christoph. And this time, Breezy gets that move done, and now Breezy's going to try and take advantage of that move happening, and these two are now going to battle here. Let's see what's going to happen here. Breezy's going to try and send it down the inside. He doesn't make that move, and he doesn't want to take any big risk there, but he is right on the back of him, and he is going to make this move this time, though. Going down the inside as he gets that move done. Christoph hangs it around the outside. They're still side by side here, but I think Breezy has got that move done, and he moves into 10th position. Really been making some money moves today, hasn't he?
He has.
Breezy really turning up here today in Russia with these moves. Really a big contender already for driver of the day. We've just got just over 10 laps to go here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this happens.
Watching Breezy in this Merc today is like watching George Russell in the Merc yesterday.
Yeah, I mentioned that at the start of the stream as well. What a shame that was yesterday. What a big shame that was.
So Ireland is gaining.
Ooh, he is.
Only by a couple of tenths per lap, but
pit stops. Nick Minaj comes in off those 15-lap old mediums or any of the other 15-lap old runners going to come in. I think there's only a couple of them left. Before this pack really gets sorted out as Ekeblova now makes the move on Chelsea, and here comes Breezy on Chelsea too, and Breezy is actually going to look at it on Ekeblova once again, take two cars down the same section of track here, and Breezy goes down the inside, goes a bit deep and has to cut that corner, and I think may have to give that position back if the game tells him to, but I don't think the game has, and he moves up into 7th position.
Wow, game being very lenient there.
Indeed. It's not like that for Div 3. Div 3, we do that in Div 3, it causes carnage. Absolute carnage.
It causes a car park.
Everyone trying to get places back. It doesn't work in Division 3, let's just say that. This is from two people who race in it.
I used to.
Yeah, that's true. You bottled it and ran away. That's what happened with you.
Oh, don't know about that.
Oh dear. So it's all fun and games.
It's
all fun and games, folks.
From 5th all the way down to 10th, 11th, so close. This is where the penalties will take huge effect if it stays like this.
I mean, D6W sat in a nice position at the minute. He's currently in 6th behind Raz. He hasn't got any penalties as Anthem has actually now picked up a penalty, I've just noticed.
Raz is coming to pit. Why is he pitting? He's on 16-lap old mediums, that's why.
So I'm just looking at the penalty situation. Mike has a 6-second time penalty, and if D6W could just stay within that 6 seconds and doesn't get a time penalty, he is sat very pretty in a nice position here. Looking further down the field, Arns came into the pits for his... no, it wasn't, sorry, it was Raz who's coming for Hards.
That's, that's a questionable decision.
Yeah, Hards at this stage of the race is a bit...
I mean, you could do 9 laps on softs.
Yeah, easily. I mean, we saw that in the start with the people who started on the softs. They took theirs to lap 10. Anthem took his to lap 12. So...
I think that might be the wrong decision there from Raz.
Yeah, very interesting to see what he's gone with there, actually. Maybe it could have been a mistake. Maybe he did press softs. We know what Gold Masters are like. We know they can mess things up. But interesting to see. But one person who is looking very strong on a set of fresh boots is ERN Storm. Currently on the soft compound tyres, and he's now on the back of Ramos. So that will be interesting to see how many moves he can get done on those pair of softs.
Penalties are coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in thick and fast. Ireland 1-6 is now the gap between him and Skeefy. So he's trying to bring it down,
picked up a penalty.
He hasn't done it just as of yet, should I say, sorry.
So Anthem has now got a penalty.
This has to be it for Storm. This has to be it now. Look how close he is to the back of Ramos. He's now trying to get Christoph too. This is going to go into 3 abreast here, going down the main street. And this is going to be interesting to see who paces this off. Does the Haas make the move? He does make the move on both of them. He gets past Ramos and Christoph and moves into 8th position. Once again, another Breezy-esque move has been made here today.
Problem is, he's done that move, but it's cost him a 3-second time penalty while doing it.
Yeah, that is true, but the other drivers around him also have penalties, so wouldn't be the biggest of changes, I don't think. Ireland has also got that down now to 1.4, by the way.
He is closing in.
He's massively closing in, really, really is, and here comes Storm now. He's on the back of Eke Bloba, and this could be another move done. These soft compound tyres are really lighting it up as Breezy's making a move on D6W. Here comes Storm. Storm has got that move done. Breezy's got his move done. 2 overtakes in the same section of track, and that is 7th place for ERN Storm. A really good showing here today. You did say it before this race. Oh, as he nearly loses the back end. He went wide there on the turf, and the back end snapped left on him, and he managed to recuperate that and keep it in check and without losing too much time. A big stop there.
The interesting thing about Skeefy and Ireland is they're both on the same ERS.
What, like the exact same? Oh, they are. They actually are on the exact same ERS. They actually are. That's actually a bit nutty. As Ramos here is on the threat from Sink Liam, who's on the soft compound tyres too. This is a nice little midfield that we have at the minute. These are all trying to battle for these positions. And is Ramos going to send it? Ooh, he nearly did on Eke Bloba. That looked like he was fully committed, but he backed out of it at the very last second. But I think Sink Liam might try and make a move on the Renault. No, he doesn't. He waits for another opportunity and another move. But Storm is now a 2/10 behind D6W. These softs really coming into life here and really trying to pressure the medium runners.
Yeah, he's just cutting through the field on them softs.
Just have a look now, 3 tenths behind. He now has DRS. D6W has a lot more ERS though than Storm. So that is going to be interesting to see, because if D6W just plants that overtake mode on, he can really try and make a gap a little bit. But Breezy will be the one under the most pressure here, with nobody in front of him to get DRS from.
It's going to be close.
It really is. I think Storm might. I have a gut feeling Storm might take both of them here on this straight.
The thing is, Storm currently.
Oh no! There goes Storm! There goes Storm! Storm loses it on the last corner and nearly hits the barrier. I don't think he had damage. I think he just saved it. But as we were talking about him, Storm loses the rear end, and that's cost him a place. Here comes Ramos on the inside of Eke Bloba, and he's got that move done. And I don't think Storm has damage, luckily enough, and Storm goes up into 9th.
Storm's been a bit so competitive on the corners because he's acting like a magnet for penalties at the minute. I know he's wanting to push so hard, but it's costing him at the same time.
Yeah, luckily didn't get wing damage from that little moment. Oh, is he nearly trying to go around the outside of Eke Bloba in that corner there, looking like he tried to use that gap, but there wasn't a gap there. Really pushing is Storm, and the gap between Skeefy and Ireland is now 2 seconds, 2.1 seconds. So maybe Ireland's struggling once the mediums get a bit warm.
Yeah, that gap is now increasing.
Having a look behind of D6W. D6W still sat behind, currently sat behind Ramos, and Ramos has now fell behind Breezy by 1.5 seconds. So very interesting to see there that he's now dropped out of DRS range and could now be under threat. Oh, here goes Sink Liam on Storm. Oh, I think Storm tried to pit and Sink Liam wanted to get the overtake done. And that nearly caused a huge crash there. And here comes Liam on Christoph. Is he going to get this move done on Christoph? I think he's going to go around the outside. Yes, I think he's got that done way before turn 2. And Liam moves up into 9th position. But interesting to see that Storm decided to pit.
Yeah, maybe he did take damage.
I'm not 100%. I mean, I know he's gone on for... There's not a guy there with a wing, so that was interesting to see. I'm not 100% too sure, like, what happened there.
It's either that or his setup isn't working for tyre wear.
Yeah, maybe so. But he's put a fresh pair of softs on. Maybe just try and take the fastest lap and be done with the race. That's what he could possibly do.
Oh, such a shame.
Yeah, he was looking very quick there on those set of softs. He really was pushing and really was getting places, and just that last corner just flung him out.
So if it stays like this, the question is Anthem going to keep that P3? I haven't looked that much into the penalties.
Oh no, he will keep that P3. Let's just say that he will keep that P3. I think Mike's on like 9 seconds of penalties, and speaking of Mike, he's just left.
Well, that answered my question.
So that isn't the best there. Mike is now in AI mode. Hopefully we can get him back into the lobby soon. Ramos is... The gaps are starting to begin to form a little bit here today. Like in the later stages, they are beginning to form, but there's still racing going on, and there's a Williams and the Alfa Romeo. The Williams trying to go around the outside, gets a better exit than the Alfa Romeo, but nearly loses it on the exit as they now go around into turn 3. Turn 3 here, and the Williams gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Is Eki going to send up the inside? No, he doesn't send up the inside. Decides to be more smarter about it as they are fighting for point positions. But we got, I think, less than 5 laps to go now. What a race we've had, Frank, to be perfectly honest. It's been a very entertaining race.
Typical Div 2, can always put on a show.
Yeah, definitely so. No matter where we are in the world, if it's Singapore, Monaco, or Russia, or Japan, where they always put on a show, no matter what. I'm just looking forward to next week, because I know somebody's going to try and make an overtake through the S's, and it's going to be beautiful. Especially in Div 2 as Christoph is really on the back there of Eke Bove as Harvey Booth picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So unfortunately Russia proving very difficult for Division 2. The only person though in that midfield who hasn't got a penalty is D6W, who sat very nicely at the minute in 7th position. But
yeah, I mean, this could also play into effect as well for Arns, because he's also sitting on 0 penalties.
Indeed, but I think the max he will go up is 1 place, because Nicky is in 11th position and 11 seconds behind our Christoph. Oh, 6-3 yellow card, safety car!
Safety car. Storm. Into the pit entrance, loses.
Oh no!
He's got a square wheel.
Yeah, I saw that. It's square rear wheel. No, Storm. And I think he may have made contact with Harvey, because Harvey was accelerating away from that area.
Such a shame.
He will be ghosted, won't he? Yeah, he should be ghosted. I'm looking at people trying to go into the pits, and they're waiting like, is he ghosted?
So now we are going to have a very thrilling... Well, depends how long is this safety car going to stay out for, because there's only 3 laps left.
Yeah, that is also true. Skeefy comes into the pits for a set of softs, so does Island. Could track position here be the more crucial part, actually? Could track position be better than pitting for the softs? Because Anthem has stayed out, and I know Anthem does have a penalty, but track position could be absolutely huge with only 2 laps to go.
That's what I mean. I mean, if Anthem only has a 3-second time penalty, then what's happened? Wait.
Island's jumped Skeefy.
Yeah. How's that happened?
I'm not 100% sure. Ireland has managed to jump Skeefy in the pits.
I don't know how that happened.
Fam, your guess is as good as mine. But one thing I did want to bring up, and I'm sorry about this, Swagstar, because it's going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. But talking about track position, I mean, we've seen this multiple times, but the one that me and you can definitely discuss about was Italy last season.
You had to, didn't you?
Yes, I had to. Of course I had to. When you're here and in front of everybody, I've got to make the most of it, and you know I do. But it proves a very good point, though. Whereas me and you were together the entire race, and me and you, when the safety car came out with only a few laps to go like it is now, you decided to pit and I didn't. And it really didn't help your cause, because track position, especially with the car in between me and you, which unfortunately was your teammate, decided not to let you past either, which is also fantastic. But with a car in between, track position could be absolutely huge.
It can.
A
It
safety
really
car
can.
is in this lap.
This is going to be a very interesting last couple of laps.
Yeah, definitely so.
Skeefy has to get that move done if he wants to go above Ireland.
Yeah. He has to get that move done. Is Mike back in the car? He is back in the car, and he's sat in a nice position now after the safety car restart. And once again, track position could play a big part in this, but Mike does have like 9 seconds of time penalties, unfortunately, which is huge, and is lagging absolutely everywhere.
Yep.
D6W, 5 second time penalty for a collision with the ERN Ramos, the 2 Div 3 commentary boys coming together there. So that is huge. Was the damage? Is there any damage for them too? I don't think there is, luckily. And we are underway. And Mike is already trying to take the fight to Anthem. Mike's going to look to try and take P1 here. Is he going to go around the outside? He is going to look to go around the outside. Skeefy's going to be putting the power down on Island 2. Mike goes round the outside of Anthem. They make a bit of wheel banging there.
Ooh.
Oh, and there goes Skeefy. Skeefy's going to take the inside line. The Red Bull is at Aussie Island. Oh, that's huge. Skeefy takes the lead of the Russian Grand Prix once again in turn 2. What a huge overtake there from Skeefy, seeing all the commotion going up ahead of him, and takes advantage of that. Absolutely beautiful. Here comes Nicky round the outside of D6W, and D6W nearly spins, manages to catch it, and that nearly cost Eke Beloba a place there too, and I think it did. Christoph takes that place back. And look at that, Skeefy already got a second gap to Anthem on the medium compound tyres, but look at Ireland, he's just stuck behind Mike.
That was an incredible move. Oh, big lock up there from Anthem.
Yeah, it was a very big and beautiful move. In fact, he saw all the commotion ahead of him and just sent it down that little gap he saw, and there it was, all a bit of contact there between Ireland and Mike, but Mike is lagging absolutely everywhere. This must be a really big struggle for Ireland as Ireland sends it down the inside on Mike, and a bit of contact there. Mike maybe having to play avoiding the damage as much as he could there. Maybe Ireland just getting a bit annoyed with himself a bit.
Now, Ireland doesn't necessarily have to push as hard as he wants to now. He can just sit behind Anthem and take P2.
Yeah.
Don't risk it.
Could really cost him even the race if he really pushes and spins or anything like that. It could really hurt him the most as Darko was retired from the session. At the back of the field there, and Mike and Breezy, these two are battling. Breezy's had a fantastic race so far today, and he's now into 4th position. Him and Mike are battling side by side here, going through sector 1 and now into sector 2. Mike's on the outside, Breezy on the inside. Mike's goes for the outside line. Oh, he goes one's a bit wide there. Breezy battling with him every step of the way, trying to get ahead. And these two were really sending it, but the lag must not be helping here as Ramos is back into play here in 6th position, looking at Breezy ahead of him.
I think Ireland might go for that move on Anthem.
Is he going to send it? Will Ireland send it in the Ferrari on the racing point? I don't think he will. Anthem defends the inside line, goes a little bit deep, and takes the outside line. But Breezy and Mike, these two are battling again, side by side through sector 3, and Breezy gets ahead of Mike. Will Ramos try and take advantage, but we quickly cut to the front of the field as Skeefy now comes round the final corner, and Skeefy takes P1 here in Russia, and the fastest lap as well. A beautiful race there from himself. Ireland P2, Breezy, Anthem P3, Breezy P4, Ramos, Christoph P5, Ramos P6, Liam P7, D6W in P8, Nicky 9th, and Mike wrapping up the top 10 there. And I think Arndt, in fact, just took the fastest lap and jumped all the way up into 7th place.
I think Nicky just jumped Mike as well for P10.
Yeah, beautiful. What a race that was.
Well, that was an exciting last couple of laps.
Indeed, indeed. And what an exciting race for you to have on your first commentary, Mr. Fragstar.
Oh, makes me want to do it more.
I don't want you back here again. But what a race that was, ladies and gentlemen. The Getting Gibbs driver of the day of Mr. Sync 90 Liam. Mr. Fragstar, who's your driver of the day?
I'm giving it to Skeefy. He's been able to pick up multiple gaps that a lot of people wouldn't be able to pick up. Being able to squeeze through them tight gaps to, like, look at the start he had. Look at the safety car restart he had. Like, yes, he's been at the top of the field, but he has done phenomenal in terms of keeping his composure and doing the job when necessary.
Yeah, I can definitely back what you're saying there. It was a fantastic drive from Skeefy, but another person who I have to mention here who could have been a contender for driver of the day too is Mr. Breezy. He had a fantastic overtaking race, really put on a show today, did Breezy. So I could back yours, but I think for me, Breezy's had a fantastic race today.
He's had a phenomenal race. Absolutely phenomenal race.
Indeed. Let's just have a quick rundown then. So Skeefy will close that gap with NRC Ireland now, and that gap gets ever more and more smaller every time. Ireland in P2, Anthem P3, Breezy in P4, Christoph P5, Ramos in P6, Arndt P7, Sinclair in 8th, D6W 9th, and for the final points position is Nicki Minaj in 10th. What a race that was.
Great race. Unlucky for some, but great race.
Yeah, what an absolutely fantastic race. Wow, 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 wow. Whew. What a race. Skeefy, you are Mr. Fragstar's driver of the day. And Breezy, you're mine. What a race it was here in Russia. We'll be back tomorrow for Division 3, same time at 7:30. And it's going to be absolutely brilliant to see. I'll be racing that. Mr. Fragstar will not be racing in that because he's chickened out with Division 3.
You really got to throw that in at the end of the stream?
Oh, yes, of course. I had to throw that in at the end of the stream.
You're lucky this is a family-friendly stream.
It isn't when you're around. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I have been Dame Zero, alongside me, Mr. Fragstar, for the first time.
It's been a pleasure.
And I'd like to say the same, but yeah.
You just can't.
No, I can't. No. I've had to speak to you for an hour and a half of niceness. It's hard, okay? But anyway, guys, it's been us from European Race Night. We'll catch you all next time. We hope to see you there for Division 3 tomorrow. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.